Alright, welcome back to Factorio Let's Play. Um, so last episode we finished red science production. We got some walls being automated, which is very good. We got some belt being produced, which is also good. So this episode, let's go increase the amount of copper we've got coming in, because right now it looks like the coal is actually fine. So let's make 4 more of those, and let's start. Yeah, let's just do that. We can get rid of these now. Because we have these ones going. Let's put all this iron in these, because I hate carrying around just ore. And then let's check the map real quick. Okay, so looks like we're actually got some time before this pollution cloud hits these biter nests, but I'm still worried. So automation 2 finished. That means we can use assembling machine 2s. That's good. This takes green science. We're not going to do it yet. Green science, green, red. Still processing it is. Because we only have red science going so far. But as soon as we get green science automated, we can do the green science researches. What does it take to do green science? An inserter and a transport belt. So we're going to need a lot of... Oh, we can probably get that set up here pretty quick, actually. Let's see, what should we do next? Is this red? Nope. Is this red? Is anything red anymore? Yep. Oh, let's do armor crafting. That should go pretty quick. Yeah, it looks like we need to get green science going. Armor crafting, military. Usually, as a general rule for doing science, you want to do the ones that are most that you can use right away, right? So that's why we did armor crafting, so that we could get light armor. We can start setting up turrets, and while we wait, because all these take green, it looks like, yeah. So since we don't have any green science automated yet, these just take red. So, oh, is this one? Yeah, this one even takes red. Let's get the heavier crafting. Heavier armor. Heavy armor. So, what we're... Oh, yeah. Let's see how many walls we've got. 20. Okay, so we doubled our copper. So now our copper should be pretty good. Let's get some green science. How are we going to do green science? Let's think about it. So what we need for green science is an inserter and a transport belt for each green science. Inserters take electronics. Oh, duh. Before we do green science, we're going to need to get electronic circuits, obviously. Which I've got a good build for, thankfully. Because some of this stuff, I don't. Like these 10 labs that I set up, I didn't know how many I needed. I just did the math to figure that out. But luckily, most of the math is pretty simple once you understand how to do it. Bullet damage one? Why not? Okay, so we're going to use this little area. I don't know if we have enough room here yet, but let's build... We're going to use assembling machine 2s now because they're faster, even though they take more energy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make 5. Because the build that I know It takes 10, but we only had enough for 8, so I stuck with 5. So now we've got 10. So we want 10. And we're going to put them... We're going to need to clear out that forest, which I was already working on, but maybe I'll do that. Yeah, let's clear out this forest first. Yeah, let's just... Oh my gosh, there's 3 trees right there. Alright, let's just clear it out to there so that I can show you how this works. You do 1, 2, 3. 3 assembling machines right next to each other. These can be rank 1 or rank 2 assembling machines. So if you don't have assembling machine 2s yet, which you should if you're following along with me, then you can use rank 1s. Or if you don't have like the power for it, or if you don't have the materials for it, any of that. And what you do is you tell these to make copper wire, right? And then these ones in front of them, so you line them up like this, and then you pull it down one. So we'll go like that. Oh, I think it's like this actually, and like, yeah, like this. And then you tell them to make green circuits. So what we're gonna, ooh, I might have built this too close to this water, but I might have built it perfect. Yeah, actually this is perfect. So you bring copper out the back, into the back, right? So this is an input lane for copper. And then you also need iron coming in on this side, right? But it's not going to be right here. And it's not going to be a normal line like this. It's going to be underground belted. So you bring copper in, I mean iron in on this side. And we can power it like this. So we get complete coverage in here. And then we need to power it like this. So, oh, actually, like this, I guess. Because we want coverage. Let's make an inserter after we make these too, so I can show you. But we want coverage, see, if you can see, we want coverage all around these, on both sides, I mean. So up here and down here, because we're going to put a bunch of inserters. And then we're going to output them down here. So it's looking good right now. So we want 2 straight lines like this that come across, right? And then we're going to build over here. I might need to, yeah, I'm definitely going to need to get rid of some of these. Then we put one right here, 1, 2, 3. Tell these to make circuits. Tell these to make copper cables. And then we can power this the same way. One like that. And then let's actually power it like this. Bullet shooting speed 2. Like this. Is that right? Like that. Nope. Yeah, I want to chop this tree anyway. Yeah, so let's... It's a little lopsided, but... lopsided, I mean, but it's gonna work. Let's bring this one down and put it right in line with that one so it looks better. Yeah, okay. So I hate small poles because they make everything, because they have such a small coverage area that you need like a bunch of them and it looks ugly. So, but that's, you know, what you have to do, I guess. So, what we could do is we're gonna need to increase these labs too eventually, because we've only got 12 right now. We could handle a lot more because this red is backing up. But anyway, we need inserters. So I need 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more, and then 3 more. So 9 for each. Oh. And then 3 more, 6 more for each. So 15 for each. So we need 30 inserters, but I already have one, so I'm only going to build 29. And then we need a bunch of underground belts, which we're not making. But we could automate those. But I'll stick with not automating them. Because this doesn't have to be a super fancy, nice factory. It's just our first one. So it's going to be a little spaghetti. It's going to have maybe not perfect ratios everywhere, but it'll work for our purposes. All we want to do is launch a rocket, right? We're not trying to launch, you know, a rocket a minute, or like go for the record, a rocket a second, which is actually a thing. People really do launch a rocket. Well, it's 60 a minute, which comes out to 1 a second, but it's not every second actually. It's like 40 every 40 seconds, right? Or whatever, and they all launch at once. So let's not do what I just did, because we're trying to make this friendly. And if I counted right, yeah. And then if you put these down and you hover over these, so you want an inserter on each of these copper cables, bringing copper from this line into these copper cable makers. Right? That's simple enough. And then you want all 3 inserters from these 2 copper cables, putting them into this electronic circuit machine. And you want the same on the other side. And then you want 1 in the middle, outputting electronic circuits, and then 2, but these look like they're outputting, but really if I hover over them and press R twice, we're going to flip them around, all 4 of these, because we're going to have iron coming in right here, and these need to put iron into these electronic circuit makers, right? So that we can output circuits. And that's going to take these underground belts. So we need at least 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4, because you'll see how it looks. It goes like this. And the cool part about underground belts, one of the cool things about underground belts is these inserters. Actually, let's set these up real quick. Oops. So the cool thing about these underground belts is that these inserters can grab off of them, even though there's this little hood in the way. Like, in reality, it would just smack the top of the hood, right? But I guess inserters aren't very realistic anyway. So they can still go down and grab whatever's on there and pull it off. And it works on both, the ones going underground and the ones coming out of underground. So, and then let's hook these up to each other. And then let's get rid of this. We're going to need to get rid of these. Oh, so it looks like I just glanced over and it looks like my iron axe is about to die, but I'm not going to build it. Okay, so that's what happens when it breaks. See, now I'm sitting here and it takes ages, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, make another iron axe. Because it's not very often, especially, I guess, for beginning like this. If this is your first factory, you're not really like, you don't have all these. Oh, our power is having real problems. I just noticed that inserter went really slow, and I was like, what is going on? So let's go check out our power situation. Because look how slow those are mining too. It looks like we may have hit oh, I don't think one drill has been doing it for, yep. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut off the power. We're going to keep this drill going though. And then we're going to build 3 more of these. Because this one drill, its mining speed is 0.5 it says, okay? And it says that this coal, its mining time is 2. So it takes 2 seconds for a coal to be put out here. This doesn't make very much sense to me. If the mining speed is 0.5, and the mining time for this is 2, then shouldn't it take 4 seconds? Yeah, it looks like it's only taking 2 though, because it should take twice as long, right? If this mining time is 2 and this is 0.5 mining speed, it should take 4 seconds. But I guess it's better that it's only 2 seconds. So let's get rid of this. We're going to turn it sideways. Oops, don't put them right on top of each other. And then we're going to power these the same way that we powered the other ones. You put one small belt on each side, bring it down to here. And then we're going to power this. And now let's check our power network. We still may have too many machines working for this to go. Let's check these. If they're at full, oh, they're not at full. Okay, so let's wait and see. Yeah, our power should catch up. We still might have too many machines though. But right now it's looking pretty good. Yeah, there we go. So our power caught up. But we're at like 3 megawatts and these can only make 5. So soon we're going to need to come back and fix the power. But that's a temporary fix that's good. Good enough for now. Yeah, so let's get back to our circuit build. Oh, and I guess I can start making some lights, some lamps, so that darkness doesn't ruin the video. So let's go into shotgun shell damage, even though we don't have shotguns. Let's come over here, back down to our circuit build, and see what we were doing. Okay, so we've got everything set up. We just need to power it, which might kill our power, but I'm hoping it doesn't. All we need to do is bring in copper and iron. So this looks like a good spot to split. So what most people do is, the whole idea behind a main bus is you build intermediate products such as these plates or these circuits, which you use in a lot of things, or maybe even gears or copper cables. But these are usually so intermediate that you just craft them on site. But you put those intermediate products, like these plates and things, onto belts that you then run down the whole factory, right? And then when you want to build something such as this copper circuit, electronic circuit build, green circuits is what most people call them, because there's also going to be red circuits and there's going to be blue circuits. And then if you go into like crazy mods like Bob's mods, they've got crazy like basic circuits, which are like wooden circuits and all sorts of weird things that I don't want to go into. But maybe someday. Let me bring this. So this is what a main bus starts to look like. Is 4 lanes of iron, 4 lanes of copper. Shooting speed. 4 lanes of iron, 4 lanes of copper. And this is a little bit wider than I'd like, but maybe we can throw the electronic circuits in there and then move, because generally the idea is nothing, the main bus moves for nothing. right? So except other main buses. So these main buses, if in an ideal factory, they would just go straight down forever, and you would split off of them like sideways for whatever you wanted. Um, but if you like were like, there's rocks in the way, rocks go. You don't move the belts. If there's like buildings in the way, if you're on like a multiplayer thing, multiplayer server, and there's like buildings in the way, buildings go. Main buses take precedence, right? So it's best to keep your main buses straight. Um, but especially because our map looks like this, we might end up having to go down, over. Maybe, yeah, maybe our factory will only ever get to the point where it just goes straight down, and it is about to hit the water, so we just go straight over, and then we never have to turn again. But generally, it's best to avoid turns in your main bus. So we have these huge lanes of stuff now. So this is what I mean by splitting off. And maybe we'll build. Actually, we can't build it yet, so never mind. We won't build that. But what I was gonna say is we would build some priority splitters, which are these really cool. I don't know. It was probably like Madzuri or somebody who came up with them. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually and give credit to whoever it's due. But okay, good. But priority splitters use circuit conditions that tell your belts to fill up one at a time. So it'll fill up, say, this far belt before it fills up this second one, and so on. And that's just so that you can have a full belt, you know. Oh, why is this not powered? Oh, because I missed it completely. So let's get rid of this one and bring it down one. And this one, bring it down one too. See, so instead of being level, it's up, down, up. And then we bring the iron in like this. Oh, but this could be a problem. Instead of doing this, let's get some underground belts. This is called dipping. You dip the belt, you dip it underground, and then it comes out up here. So this belt is the exact same as this belt, but there's just an underground belt in the way. So we dipped that so that we can split off this one instead. And we did that because our output for circuits is going to come right here. And underground belts, the reason we do 4 belts like this is because underground belts can only barely reach across. So 4 belts. So if I put the underground belt, if we had it like we had it before and I put it right here, it can't make it across there. So we put it right here. That's why I moved this in. And that means up here, these two belts, have 50% as many plates on them as these two belts. 50% as much throughput, maybe, as these two belts. So that's where cool things like belt balancers come in. And we'll do some of those, but not yet. So we'll bring these out right here, and then we'll split it into 2 lines. And the whole reason that I brought up the straight main buses before is that we're going to need to put a little kink in our main buses, probably. Maybe not. Maybe this will be okay. But this is a lot tighter than I generally like it. I like to have a gap of 4 between. So you go 4 lanes, and then 4 in between, and then another 4 lanes. Instead of just 2 in between, because when you try and split off something like this, right now we have enough room, just barely, because if we try to split off this, Then we put a splitter here, we put a belt here, and then immediately we have to put an underground belt that goes across, which is okay for now. And also, if we put underground belts coming across, like outputs of things, then we barely have enough room, because on this tile these two tiles would be an output and an input for the next underground belt, right? So I don't like how close this is, so it's looking like we'll probably come down here and then turn back straight so that we have more room between these. But we'll see. So I need to grab some more transport belt. Let's limit this to actually 1,000. So each stack is 50. There's 10 in a line in all chests. So that makes counting easier. So in this one we can hold 10, 20, 30. And it looks like we're done with red science. Nice. So let's go back and not research anything yet. And let's see. Oh yeah, let's get copper going in. So we need to split off the copper line right here. And this is going to look a little bit different, because on this one we're using the farmost and then the second one. On this one we're just using the outermost both times, which should be okay for now. But we're going to need to balance it eventually. I don't actually need that one, but I do need it here. And it's best to build backwards. So you figure out where you want stuff, and then you build towards where you get it from, because that helps keep everything like straight, looking pretty. And then it looks like this should be good to make electronic circuits, which are what these green things are. And it would be nice to upgrade all these inserters. Ooh, actually, let's do this real quick. So if you look here, you'll notice that this puts in a plate, it makes one, and then there's a little bit of time before it makes the next one, where it's just sitting, doing nothing. So to fix that, we're going to make 6 inserters, and we're going to have, instead of having 1 on each machine, we're going to have 2, because now if we look at this machine, it's constantly building or outputting. So there's no downtime in this machine. It's a lot more efficient. And before, I used to do 3 inserters on each, but I'm pretty sure that's not needed. So let's just do 2. Because that saves on some resources as well as power. So now we've got green circuits going. And in the next episode, we'll probably fix, get green science going. And yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching.